Hey guys, how you doing? It's Deepak here from the CV Guy. Head over to the CVGUY.com and you can get more expert advice on dealing with those applications, interviews and CVs. So today we're talking again about difficult questions you're going to face in an interview. So this for me is one of the kind of most overlooked questions that people do under prepare for, and sometimes, well, often it can lead to your downfall in interview. And it's a question that we know to expect, but we don't necessarily always prepare for it as best as we should. Why should we hire you? I find this myself personally to be quite a difficult question because being British, if you're listening, one of the problems that we British folk have is that we're not very good at talking about our talents. We're known for being more humble, self-effacing, but perhaps just not being very assured or confident, at least as demonstrated through the things that we say. This question requires you to do that, to answer that, why should we hire you? Now, there are two elements to this, of course. There are the technical elements. So what do I mean by technical? The company, knowing the company history, knowing some parts about how basically you, or in this case, I am a good fit for this position. And then there's also the personable side. So you've got technical and you've got personable. So let's just assume I'm applying for an administration role as part of the NHS, right? I'm going to just make up an answer on the spot without any kind of ideas, but it should give you some insights into what I mean when I say, why should we hire you? So Deepak, could you tell me why you think we should hire you for this admin NHS role? Yeah, absolutely. First, in terms of the role, I know that it's heavily reliant upon databases and working with spreadsheets, becoming going to be dealing with a lot of client information. I've got 2 qualifications in Excel, one through just my university and some of the works that I did as mathematical projects. It required a heavy use of Excel. So I'm really quite comfortable using Excel, which I understand I'm going to be using day to day as part of the role. The second part of that is I've also got an ECDL. It's a European computer driving license. Basically, it allows me to it's a sign of proficiency to show that I can use Excel to, as well as some other Office packages. I'll probably need them as part of the role, to a competent standard. There's 2 elements to it. Then also as part of the role, I know that I'm going to be dealing with potential customers, or if you like, patients that come into the hospital as I gather some of these medical records. I've had family that have been in and out of hospital myself, my grandmother most particularly, and my brother when he was involved in a car accident. I'm really quite well aware of the needs, emergencies, desires, and the courtesy and patience that's required when dealing with patients and people that come into the hospital quite stressed. It's so important to remain relaxed, calm, and just be able to engage, take in the information, and just calm them down when necessary. So because of these experiences with Excel and this experience I've got, just from family things that have happened, I think that I'd be suitable for the role. So, do you see what I did there? I recognize that some elements of the role require heavy use of Excel, okay? But not that just alone. I'm working in the NHS. I'm going to be dealing customer facing with people that are going to be approaching me. So to that end, I also need to demonstrate that I've got not just skills that relate to being personal, but I've also related it to the NHS. And this is what makes for a decent answer. So that's what I recommend that you do when preparing for that question. Why should we hire you? Detail and look through the company information, look through the job description, relate that to your CV in terms of technical things that you've done. Really go and have a look through how this relates to, experience that you've got working in administration. Will work for this new position. If you're working in sales, it's probably a part of administration. And then also think about your personality fit, because that's also going to be key to getting this role.